Alright, and just as important as a bait is the rod you fish it on. Now this is the Lew's American Hero 6.2 to 1 gear ratio spinning reel. This is a $30 spinning reel. Name brand, I might add. And I just got this at a store called Fisherman's Warehouse when we were down by Lake Erie. Dude, for $30, it's a total steal. So, obviously I'll have another video talking about catching bass on a budget coming up soon. But I have that, and I have it on this crappy Zebco slingshot rod. The rod that I usually use broke, so that's a bit unfortunate. But this rod works just fine. I'll leave links in the description to these two. I don't know if there's a link to this rod. Oh. So yeah, those are the rods I usually fish those two on, and they're usually rods or baits that you'd fish on a spinning rod, lighter, stuff like that. So, also just as important as the bait is the retrieve. Now, I'm going to just show you quickly how to do this, because really it doesn't matter too much. So first, for the dinger, cast. I'm not actually going to cast because I don't want to ruin my bait or anything. So you cast. Let it sink. That's probably one of the most important things, is to let the bait sink. If it doesn't sink, it's gonna just wake on top of the water. That's not what you want. Let it sink for about 10-15 seconds, and it's just a boop, boop, boop. Let it sink again. Boop, boop, boop. Let it sink. 3 jerks. Don't do like 3. It's just a little tap. And that is my #1 way to work that. And second, for the Ned rig, usually pressured ponds have the worst bottom ever, so I wouldn't recommend casting them out. I only use them if the fish are coming up shallow and bedding. But what I like to do, I like to cast it out, and I like to kind of dead stick it, so kind of have it like middle of the water column, and just kind of bang on your rod like this with a tight grip, and it'll pop up like this. Kind of pop up like that. They hate that. Well, they hate it and love it. I don't know what way I would say that, but they love to see it, but they hate to see it, because sometimes it'll scare the living crap out of them and they'll just swim away, but sometimes they'll get super interested and bite just like that. Alright, so now we have something that everyone came here for, the tips and tricks to help you catch more bass, how to work upon more efficiently. Now, #1 is to switch baits a lot. Now, I know that I only have 2 baits, but switch colors, switch retrieve styles, switch spots. Don't sit in one spot all day and just keep casting out without a bite. I like to work around ponds, like walk around them. I usually take 10-15 casts per spot and I'm gone. If I don't get a bite, I'm gone. So don't work a spot, because sometimes the bass in the summer, they won't move that often. They'll stay deep. So if you just sit in one spot, chances are you're probably just not gonna get any bites all day. So move around, switch baits, switch colors, switch retrieves. Second, if you want to catch big bass, now I might have a little bit of backlash in the comments. Oh, it's not real bass fishing. Live bait underdogs. Alright, so if you guys don't know, shad are usually not in ponds. I think it's pretty rare. I don't have any in my pond. The 2, maybe 3 main forages of fish in ponds is bluegill, crawl, and dragonfly. Bluegill are probably one of the easiest things to catch. They take seconds. You just put a worm on a hook, pop it in there, rip it out, there you go. Now, I actually caught my biggest bass ever on live bait. Now, a lot of people will say it doesn't count. Oh, it's not real bass fishing. Alright, it is, honestly. I don't really care. You caught it with a hook. It was in its mouth. It's not like you foul hooked it or anything. But I have caught another pretty big bass on live bait, and the big bass often get so smart because they've been in this pond for who knows how many years. Okay, so a plane passed by and my dog's here now. This is Ellie, by the way, so you can say hi. But like I was saying, the fish have been in these ponds for so long, they learned it. They won't bite artificial baits, so throwing a live bait out, I mean, it's super fun to watch them eat, watch them attack and stuff like that. So if you want to catch bigger bass, use live bait. Alright, and my third tip, we got 2 more for you guys, is fish under docks. It provides shade. It's often a little bit shallower, so in the spawn sometimes fish will come over there. Fish under docks, yeah, that's pretty much it. Fish under docks, because bass like to hang around structure, especially in murky water. Alright, and my fourth tip to make sure you hook up basically 100% of the time, keep your baits loaded with scent. A lot of people say they don't really help, but what I do think they help is making the fish hold on to it longer. If you're fishing a soft plastic that has no grease or no crawl scent or whatever scent you like to use, they're going to go and then spit it because it doesn't taste like anything. If you add, bluegill scent, craw scent, shad scent, whatever, they're going to hold on to it for a split second longer, and that could mean the difference between catching it and not. So make sure you add lots of scent, and that makes it hold on for a little bit longer. And number 5, I talked about this on how to become a better bass fisherman. Let the fish eat. I mean, let the fish eat, because what they'll do is they'll just nip it and they'll slowly start to eat it. Wait till they get the hook in their mouth. I say wait about 3 to 5 seconds and then set the hook. That's how you catch it. Alright, we're almost done, guys, so hang on with me. We have 2 more segments. We got pros and cons. So pros, it can be very rewarding after fishing a long day and you finally pull one out. So I guess that's a pretty good pro for me. And the second pro is there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them around my house. I have like 5 or 6 that I can easily bike or skateboard to. It takes 5 minutes to get there. Number 3, fish get pretty long in these ponds. They don't get fat, but they can get pretty long. And another one is, I guess in the spawn, there's a lot of them that move up shallow. Not by the docks, but there's a lot of them that do move up shallow. And finally, for the cons, if you like throwing big crankbaits, just forget it, honestly. If you don't like throwing finesse baits, then a pressured pond probably isn't for you. Second, probably my only way to catch, bigger fish is live bait. So if you don't consider that real bass fishing, then I guess that's also a con. And probably the biggest con ever is they're extremely finicky, so you can't, set the hook as soon as they eat. Alright, so there you go, guys. That is the Pressured Pond Complete Guide. That is everything that I know about pressured ponds, everything that I've researched, everything that I use. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. All the links will be down in the description. Yum dingers, all the baits I use, all the hooks I use, all my camera gear, everything. So I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you guys next Monday. See ya. Woo.